Yeah.
So Nixon fired one of the people who worked for him.
Who was this, Fitzgerald? 5.
One of his secretaries.
4. Need something a little bit more specific.
Did he work in Congress?
Worked in Congress.
He worked in Congress.
-2. -4. -5. Actually.
Minus points?
Yeah, he did not actually work in Congress. Who's got next?
Oh, I think I know the truth about him. He was
Who's
involved
got
in the
next?
water.
Okay, go ahead. Beyond's group's got
He was
it.
an undersecretary.
Undersecretary, thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He was actually an undersecretary for President Nixon. And what was it that he was working on?
They were working on bombing plans.
He was working on a bombing program.
It
1,
was
2, 3,
overpriced.
4, 5.
It was over expensive and it wasn't working and it was a waste of money, a waste of time. He told his superiors they weren't listening. He went through the proper channels, but they weren't cooperating, so he went over all their heads and he spilled secrets to Congress. And Nixon eventually fired him, and then 10 years later,
Okay, stop right there. He was working on a bomber program, and he found out that, in fact, this bomber program had cost overruns. It wasn't going to work. It was going to endanger American lives. He did go to the superiors. Where ultimately did he go that got him in trouble?
Congress.
He did ultimately go to Congress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how did Nixon respond when he went to Congress?
he sent them back to Congress so he can dig his own grave.
And ultimately he...
Fired.
Why did he sue?
Because he said it was lawful discrimination.
-5. Why did he sue? Who's got it next?
Oh, because he fired him.
You're already out. Who's got it next? Okay, only you two. Okay, understand on this. Go ahead, William.
Could you restate the question?
Just tell me, pick up where they left off.
He was fired. The president. He was suing because he said he was fired and was fired unjustly and should have been paid for the 10 years he was currently not working because he was fired. And the Supreme Court said...
Hang on. He did actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He sued because he wanted his job back. He wanted back pay. He wanted back raises. Go ahead. Because I'm trying to make sure that you know how much to write. Go ahead.
The court decided that the president has the ability to... he has a special ability to fire people because if he has to go through this whenever he's firing someone.
Fire people where? 5. Fire people who? 5.
People
4.
in the federal government.
3. They've still got control.
Anyone who works for the government, really.
The president can fire anybody that works for the government.
Not elected, more.
-5. Who can the president go ahead?
The people in his staff.
What staff? What do you mean?
Can you not?
5.
The White House staff?
The White House staff, the executive branch staff.
Sorry, following orders.
The president can fire anybody in the executive branch? Can the president fire anybody in the executive branch?
Non-elected officials.
You guys have control.
Oh.
If they give a right answer and then you say it and it's right, you get the points. But if they give a wrong answer and you say it, then you lose. Who can the president not
How about
fire?
if they don't say it?
5, 4, 3. It's going to be a bad
People
example.
that aren't, if they're elected, they can't be fired.
Who's not elected? Who is elected? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. -5. Everybody's missed it, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this.
Then we shouldn't get
The only president, or the only person that the president cannot fire is actually the vice president, because the vice president is elected. And that's why I took away points, because, Giselle, that's such an easy answer.
Could he fire a governor?
Okay, understand on this, and that's not relevant because we haven't talked about it. Understand on this, the president actually has immunity for making decisions as long as the president is operating within the law. So if the president makes a wrong decision, as long as the president is operating within constitutional powers, you cannot sue the president. Go ahead. You gave me the last correct answer. Pick me a category. Your group. Now understand, the winning group is going to get over a letter grade, and even the losing group is going to get a half point or half letter grade as long as people are in the positive. So I really want to give you bonus points, but you got to answer. Pick a category.
Executive 3.
Executive for 3. List all you can. Click it. Youngstown versus Sawyer. Y'all have it first. First hand I will see has it second. Youngstown versus Sawyer. Looks like it's going to be Robert, but not yet. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, Robert's group. 5. Youngstown. 4.
The segregation on buses that cross state lines.
-3. Go ahead.
Youngstown versus Soil is about the steel company that
They produce more than 40% of the nation's steel. And
Youngstown Steel, 1, 2, 3, produced over about 40%, 1, 2, 3 of the nation's steel.
And
Go
then they
ahead.
went in strike in the middle of the Korean War.
They went on strike, 1, 2, 3, in the middle of the Korean War. Tell me more.
Then Truman went and seized that plant and to produce the steel for the troops.
Yeah, stop right there. Truman actually, do you remember what power it was that he was using? What power did he want to use that dealt with Youngstown versus Sawyer? 5. It's a big one. 4.
Executive privilege.
-3.
I
First
got it.
hand
I know this one.
I had my hand up.
First hand, oh actually you're already out for this one because y'all missed it. Go ahead, you're the last group.
He said he was the commander-in-chief.
Commander-in-Chief power, 1, 2, 3, you're in second place. Truman seized the steel mills, was going to run it by the government, and then ultimately he was going to force the workers to go back to work. He was sued. The Supreme Court issued a 3-part test.
Yes.
Can you give me the 3 parts?
Okay, first is if the president is working with Congress on something,
Yes.
then it has the strongest amount of power it could have.
1, 2, 3. When President and Congress are in agreement, presidential authority is at its highest level, the president's going to win. Go ahead.
If Congress says nothing, then the president has less power, but still some power.
1, 2, 3. If the president is operating without Congress, president still has significant authority, and the president is still going to win. But the third case?
The third case is if the president is going against Congress, then he's ultimately going to come to him.
If the president is going against Congress, 1, 2, 3, the burden of proof is on the president, and the president will lose. In this instance with Truman, what did the court say? Was it 1, was it 2, or was it 3?
They said it was 3.
They said it was 3. Why?
They said because they changed the part of the amendment that says he has the ability to seize the steel mills, if I'm remembering correctly.
Okay.
And the court said that because Congress took that part out, that
Do you remember what the
that
bill
means they're
was?
against it. The name?
Yeah.
It was like.
Don't worry. It was the Taft-Hartley Labor Act. The court actually, the Congress and the Taft-Hartley Labor Act had offered an amendment that would allow the president to seize and run striking companies and then sort out the labor disputes later. The amendment, just like you said, was voted down by Congress. The final bill did not say yes or no. The court in this instance said because that amendment was defeated, this was Congress saying no, and Truman lost. That's actually about as good an answer as anybody's ever given me for Youngstown versus Sawyer. Go ahead, touch the house. Williams Group, pick me a category comfortably in second place right now. Gotta go.
I'm going to blow this, so Articles 2.
Articles for 2.
I mean, let's be honest here.
List all you can, click it. Executive order. You've got it first, Robert will have it second. Go.
It's pretty straightforward. It feels the president has the ability to make laws with this. An example would be Jefferson and getting the Louisiana Territory through executive order, not having to go through Congress.
Okay. What is an executive order for? 3.
It's a decree.
Yeah. 2.
It's a decree to override
1.
Congress.
Go ahead, Robert's Group.
An executive order is when the president takes direct executive authority by issuing an edict or decree that involves, say, significant changes. For example, if Bernie was president.
Wait. With what? With what? Where can the president make this edict? Where? In what area? What power?
In the executive power.
Executive power is where in the Constitution?
Where in the Constitution?
Oh, we've talked about this so much. Where is the executive power in the Constitution?
It's on the 7th Amendment.
No, we already lost enough.
-3. Where is the executive power? First, go ahead.
Isn't it Article 2?
Article 2. The president can actually make law, domestic law, as long as it deals with the president's powers in Article 2. You have control. Can you give me an example we discussed in class?
Yes, with the whole making legal citizens illegal.
Making illegal citizens
Illegal immigrants that've been in the U.S. Like Obama, he went and made illegal immigrants legal who've been here a long time.
Pay good attention to that Saturday Night Live video. Can you give me others?
Yes, but a really important executive order that only applies to the president's term. So once he leaves office, the next president.
That's a really, really good point.
He can
Executive
do-
orders are only binding on the president when the president is in office. Future presidents can actually abide by it, or they could actually not use it at all. Anything else you can tell me? Go ahead.